All right, what we're going to do is look at nicotine. All right, that's something that I don't need to forget. Um, Before we go into like nicotine, we have to establish something. Okay, this right here is yet another natural resource that has been taken and controlled in order to make a profit. And in a process, add their own additives, chemicals and stuff, because this is the hardest thing to quit when it comes to substances. That and the really snacking. Okay, we are to a point right now to where this is the first time when they really took control and reset. This was the first time that the world has ever seen cigarettes the way that they are. Ever. And so it should never be there, for one. That's how far into this. Do you understand? Because, see, as a nation, they have a bad habit of creating stuff and then just giving it to the populace because children were smoking. It was everywhere. Vending machines pushed. They had women saying, "Yeah, smoke on." You don't understand. So when people have no idea who they are, and then in time, as people are like, "Hey, this is not good." Well, we're going to set laws, 16, because in the high schools, people smoked cigarettes, or students, a long time ago. They knew what they were doing. But that's not even the bad part of it. It is, and then you've got them pushing the toothpaste commercials. Okay? And deodorant, and hairspray, and shampoo, which have what? Chemicals. Okay, now this is where it's going to get funky because we have been ingrained for generations within our DNA, whether you know it or not. We do not look like we're supposed to look. Okay? Physically. And we're not supposed to think how we're supposed to think. Our thoughts are not supposed to come from shit like this. And from just fake lights and everything else. Okay? But the nicotine is so powerful, and we're always talking about the impulse to the brain. Okay? And this is what I do. Let me try to stay on like the snuff. When I was real young, when I had to go to certain parts somewhere with my family, I remember seeing an old lady have like the snuff, like in a can like that, Bruton or something, to where that can, she'd dump it right in the front of her lip. And seeing there were spit tunes down here in the South, Southeast United States, a lot of churches split up because they took spit tunes out of the churches. Yeah. So, if you can see how it's insane, because listen, it's a plant. It grows, but in your world, you don't even, people can't even think. They don't even understand how they really pimped the earth, pimped it out. You pay for literally what grows for free. Yeah, as a resource. So, do you understand what I'm saying? If they never, but you can't. And see, all those substances that I named earlier, this and this, all those individuals might not smoke cigarettes or chew or snuff, but they're getting those same chemicals in them. Do you understand? So it doesn't matter what it is. We're ingrained with something that's going to destroy us. And the thing with me is we involve ourselves, but we identify it because you know the power it has. And that's what I'm saying. And that's the whole design of that. It served its purpose. And now the vape era is coming, which is going to do the same shit that controlling that did. What the hypocrite is the one that doesn't identify it. Because remember, and I do include myself in my videos, I've always said, including me in this. But this is what I do. I did this one sort of like a cigarette because some of the people that I talk to, well, because I'll break this down into little sections and put it in the can of dip and let it get the nicotine on it. And then take it out of the can and put it in my lip to where the brain's still getting the same impulse or the current from that substance, man-made. But it's in a smaller, minute form. And the physical feeling of it, which we're used to, or this right here, is still there, only it's tricked. See, if I tell them, put this in your cigarette pack, and they do. And then what they do is pull it out and do that, and eventually they're like, dude, this does. It's like, well, yeah, it's got nicotine on it. Only the smoke's not there. Do you understand what I'm saying? And then eventually some of them choose. Because listen, any little bit of success away from what we do is success. But when we're talking about fucking drugs and alcohol and listen, dude, listen, I've been on METH. Ice, which it wasn't that, long time ago, and we were smoking fucking Lucky Strike non-filters, like, you know what I'm saying? So, in Marlboro Lights and all that shit back in the day. So I've been there. But, truthfully, around this area, you know, tobacco, and I know some people that's worked in Alabama, and they'll tell you recently that talk to these farmers out there and these people that are getting their land bought. And these people have tobacco running, you know, literally dried down their cheeks and everything. Because that's who we are down here. That's ingrained into our DNA. You don't understand. Like when we were growing up, it was Redman or Levi Garrett, Redman, you know, Beech Nut, Lancaster, you know, and this tobacco's like thick. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it'll literally make you sick. Like, literally make you sick. And there's easier ways of doing it without all that in it. But when you control an area and you only allow the resources into that area that's going to be there, then the people will eventually, whether people know it or not that don't even consume any kind of nicotine or tobacco, it's still ingrained into them. It doesn't matter. So, you know, the tricking of the mind so you're sort of hypnotizing your mind, but you're tricking it, you know, so, but we have to include ourselves and we have to see it for what it is, because if you're trying to quit other stuff and this at the same time, you'll fucking lose your mind. It's not going to happen. You know, and that's the whole thing about this whole, not experience, but with a change of lifestyle. It's, and you're going to be called a dummy. Man, you whatever, look at you, you're doing it, and it's like, listen. See, now you're going to have a little more ammunition to go at people and be like, leave me the fuck alone. we identified. But it's ingrained into us. Everywhere we've ever looked, there's been commercials and shit. And then the nation slowly goes, oh, sorry, our bad. You know, let's put laws on it when it should have never been there. Ever. Ever. But the populace had never heard radio waves, ocean waves. Those create magnetic field. Radio waves create garbage. In here. You see it, you hear it, over and over and over and over and over and over and over. You know, but the thing is it's the impulse, it's the current that we have. You know, with that, because it's this if you're a smoker, it's always this. You know what I'm saying? It's this right here. It's it's the alcoholic with the beer. You know, it's the dipper with the dip with this. That's the comfort. You understand what I'm telling you? That's a comfort zone that the brain knows because it's been ingrained with a habit. Okay, and then on top of that habit, it has chemicals. And those chemicals represent numbers. And remember, numbers represent souls according to Aleister Crowley and the rest of the damn wizards of the world. So those numbers, souls, which represent daemons, bad shit, have been cast with spells and all that shit. And so that current and impulse, the names of these companies are the mediums. See, you have to learn how to see the world as the big black magic fucking upside down world for what it is. You got to learn how to throw the names away and see it for what it is. You know, it's just like the movies have directors and producers. The producers are the wizards and the directors, and then the cast are the mediums, because you create so much of a connection with the movie star. The same way the fucking brain creates so much of a connection with this. It's a medium. The TV is a medium. You create a connection. Do you see what I mean? Connection. It's a con. You know, just like the congregations. It's an aggregate of a con. Y'all have no idea who or what you are to the people that are watching this, who should be like, damn, some of this is making sense. If you do your research, all right, look. 1960s cigarette commercials.
According to Duke University libraries, tobacco advertising in America first appeared in 1789 when the Lorillard brothers advertised their snuff and tobacco products in a local New York daily paper.
Oh, they're going to blame others, ain't they? There it is. I mean, look. Can you read that? It says more doctors blank Camels than any other blank. That's them pushing. You see what it's done. Do you know where those lung institutes came from? That. It's just like all the damn McDonald's. Do you know where all those hospitals come from? From those fucking structures. So do not feel bad when you cannot, and that's why I said I don't put a real dip in to do a video like I've done. Because we're real, you know. Because you've got to start feeling to where you know what you're doing. And then even if the act happens, then you do know between you and yourself. And over time, it will go away. Because I have worked really hard on it. Because listen, y'all have no idea the addictive personality that this individual worldly has whenever the chemicals are introduced into this anatomy. And I'm sure you're like me. You've got stories of fucking doing 20 rock stars, which not me. You know, mine was the cane, the cocaine, the X, you know, the blues, the bars, the beers, the vodka, the paper LSD, I don't like getting flagged, but then again, they can't. And the whole thing is like 50 Cent said in his song when he's talking about he got shot, which he's an actor. He says he got hit like I got hit, but he ain't fucking breathing. So that means you're here for a reason, those of y'all that's been hit, you know, with even crack. I mean, we've been there. Listen, we know all about the cans and the ashes and all that, and the boobs and everything that comes with it, and the looking for pebbles. Yeah. And the looking out the windows for days on end when the carpet just turns into your feet. Yeah, to where you don't even ever move and your eyes can't even shut because they've been up so long, turning to concrete almost. Yeah, and then to the pain, some of the pain popping days to where you can't even shit. It's because it's shutting the organs down. That's what it is. And see, it doesn't matter where we go. We can show you what they've done and how they've weaponized it. Everything. All of it. And you need to think about this, the populace, that's all they seen was this and the rest of the shit. I mean, look. And see, give your throat a vacation. Smoke a fresh cigarette. You just don't understand. This is the ingrainment into your DNA, into your blood. And that's why it's impossible. And truthfully, with me, the more you shed the layers of passion, that's passion, and it's an Ahrimanic passion. Okay? When you can start to identify the Ahrimanic, Ahriman represents dis-ease. Okay? Anything that's against the anatomy is Ahriman. And that's everybody. I know it's hard to accept. You might be like, who is fucking Ahriman? It's like, do not Google it because you've got a 5-year-old mind in an education. I've got $1 million, $20 million. You are a 5-year-old. You will not listen. You will not look up. Okay? You can't even. Okay, with all that money and fake worldly shit you have, I think I would do a thorough investigation to say, has my brain been developed inside my entire life and something kept me inside my entire life? Has these fucking things gave my brain emotions? Okay? Have the cast on the movies are casting. The channels in the TV is channeling. We've done this shit over and over. And that's why I like this right here. And then you had stars pushing it and everything. I mean, look, see, this is what I'm saying. We got to get the this community. Yeah. You know? Dude, just do your own. And look, there's your. There's your football player. So, and the more you strip away these passions, though, the more that the more you'll pull away from the world, and then really you'll have a hard time being around people that don't never look at themselves and have no idea that who they are at all. All they have is whatever this life has given them, and they've never questioned it. And they'll tell you, I've done everything I'm supposed to do. How do you know you hadn't been guided? And then, you know, how does people know? I mean, listen, anything natural. You need to think about it. Look. Okay. Deodorant, toothpaste, hairspray, body wash, conditioner, detergent, one of the really ones is the plug-in scent stuff. Okay, and we can go on and on and on and put these, even though this might be you, we can go on and on and on. And what do all those have in common? Seriously. Yeah, and these, those, especially. Every bit of it. Every bit of it. And then the foods. See, look. Listen. What makes you keep going and buying cigarettes and shit and beer and impulse? Something's impulse and it's good, boy. What makes people sit in a drive-through line every morning, maybe for 30 minutes? And 5 days a week, at the end of the week, some people might sit in a drive-through 3 hours a week. Do you understand? They don't see it as that. They are waiting for 3 hours to get what? Poisoned. Because the impulse is telling them that. They don't do it themselves. It's there. It's that easy. The easy access is there. So without anybody even smoking or dipping, we can, and when you cut all that, well, you can't cut it out though. That's what we're saying. I'm trying to give you, these are brands, traders. These are all commercials. Think about all the commercials. That money right there could go into the communities. You got to see all these commercials to make sure with toilet paper. We need that. Listen, all this is chemicals. The same that's in those. That's what I'm saying. Y'all in the same boat. We all are. So it doesn't matter. But it's funny how the smokers, the dippers, and the drinkers, and the druggers, they're the ones that get shunned. Do you know what's the biggest epidemic right now? Is this right here. That right there. You know how much money they are making off of that? Oh no, plus size. Listen, it's an agenda and plus everything else. And see, the more of these that are in the anatomy, the more the organs work overtime, and then there's no material in there, and then eventually you're number one breadwinner of rheumatoid diseases, and that's all rheumon. And we can't get out of it. It's just like this. This thing, your connection to the nicotine is not to the tobacco, it's to the man. So when you can figure out that you're fighting darkness, like fucking powers, principalities, you're fighting sorcerers and seers shit, evil ones that put spells on that shit a long time ago to make it last for generations, to fucking kill us, destroy us, and everything else. You, my friend, are one of the very few that might pop out of it. But the thing is even if you do have success each day by slowing down, that is success. So you gain power over that black magic. The more you go in reverse each day, the more you lose power. Should make sense, but it doesn't, and it's crazy. It's fucking crazy. I'll do a video about this. India. Hinduism. I ain't even going to talk about Hinduism, I think's what it was, but India, I can say this. Atlantis, that knowledge that came, they'll make you think Atlantis is just a cartoon. Listen, fuck no. Whatever happened was supposed to happen, but Atlantis, that knowledge, when it came out of Atlantis, it first popped up in India. And that's where you need to look at all the real substations. Yeah, fucking, it's crazy. It's people, you probably don't even know what I'm talking about. And it's like, listen, the substations you see that are not real, the fake electricity, it's not real. It was there long. We've had it forever. Magnetic field and all that, and it's a copy. And they left shit in India blatantly to be like, look, these dumb shits will never put it together, and nobody can. Even electricians, it's like, just look at the columns. They're the same as your conductors, capacitors, and all this other shit. It's the same. But anyways, we're way beyond that because we're so far into order out of chaos, into the New World Order, which it's nothing new because each age is a new world order. And that's getting into the zodiacal, gets into scripture too, where God looks at Job and says, who is this? Who are you to darken my counsel without knowledge? And about the zodiac, he says, canst thou bring forth Mazzaroth in his season? And that's the whole thing. And when I say that, people get so mad, or they're like, oh, it's stupid. It's like, you don't know. You have no idea. All that up there is what controls you, and it goes in your eyes like antlers on a fucking deer, and ants, antlers, antennas, ants. Something's controlling us, charging us, yeah. Rubber on our feet, asphalt, stay inside, shut up, never look up. I'm just trying to give you enough shit to think about to get your mind off of that. And you got to get to reading, get lost into reading. You know, get the stick, break them down, do something. You know, because it helps. But you got to get real with it and get ready to be shunned, because you can get others and be like, yeah, whatever. Well, just look. Because I don't listen, this is very low that I put on me, because it's what we put in us that makes us stink. It comes out from us. I don't have that's in there. None of that. I mean, we can go on, but we can nitpick each other, but that's not it. Let's put it all out there and then start picking it off. And if that's still in there, don't make that the fucking number one focus. You make that like, hey, I'll slow down. Let me get into like, you know, because it's the you might not be fucked up no more, but now that shit's fucking you up. And the whole thing is it doesn't matter if it helps you to get better. In the initial beginning of getting off whatever it is that's going to kill you, if you got to just, and that's your worry, don't worry. Work on that in time. You understand? There'll always be a time. If you really seek true health, your body will reject it sooner or later. It's just like the other day, I was sitting there and the guy was like, damn, you just spit 2 dips out. And I was like, man, I'm telling you, my body doesn't want it. And seeing these books, truthfully, they talk about it because the wood is properties you're made of too. So even if you're doing that and that, but in these books it says it. It talks about it. When you try to really build the anatomy, the image of God, you know, the substances of the world will react a different way. And your body talks to you, but no, it doesn't. I'm the doctor. What's your symptoms? Fuck. Listen, just come to me. I'll look at you and tell you what's wrong internally. Seriously, and they'll be like, oh, you got a rash. We need to put it. No, that means something internally is doing it. From there, in the environment. I can go on and on and on, but I love you. Hell yeah.